Some boy did it dirty.
All right, welcome back. Another episode of In the Green Bets. Grant and Justin back, coming off what was ultimately an okay week for me. I went light, but I hit a 40, a 30, and a 20. I only lost one derivative bet, which was good. That was our Svensson, I think. And then lost my only matchup, but, playing it safe on a week where the field is so bad. Never really had anybody in contention. Sig and somebody else, I can't even think, were in the top 10 at some point. But
I had Callum Tarrant, who actually played pretty well, contended for a little bit, which was nice. My 30s were really bad. I kind of split my matchups. Grillo absolutely screwed me on my margin at the end by missing like a 4-footer, which absolutely sucked. Tony gave me a chance, but I had Tony for my one and done. I have now hit 2 wins in a row for my one and done. Has catapulted me back into the top 20 of the competition. Didn't have a win all season. Now I've hit back-to-back, one being a major. That's absolutely crazy. And I think we will get into it as far as our options for next week.
Yeah, that's big time. I mean, it just shows you can just – you may not win if you're way out of it, but, like, you can get yourself in the money and, go on a little run here. I'm dropped back down to like 50th. I'm really not that far out of I'm really not that far behind you. I'm a couple million, which is just one or two good weeks. So we'll see. I mean, the options are getting thin here. We've got 4 weeks left, right? We got this week in the Wyndham and then 2 playoff events. I'm still rolling. I still have Scotty. I still have Morikawa. I still have Hovland. So, some options, not necessarily the best options.
It's kind of funny because we have like the same options coming down the stretch.
I kind of wasted Rory at the Players, I think, and I blew it with Brooks at the Masters. But that happens. It is what it is. And like I mentioned last week, Scotty and Spieth over across the pond, choking on Sunday, both of them. That might have been my dagger, but. We'll see. But Rocket Mortgage Classic this week in Detroit. It's a bit of a bomber's paradise, but we've also seen a lot of bunters, do well. I mean, even the bunters of the bunters, Ryan Armour has done well here, and it's positional in that sense that like you can just make a bunch of birdies by being in the fairway a bunch, but you can also make a bunch of birdies by just hitting nukes all over the course. So. I don't really know that it favors any one style. Obviously, if a bomber really gets hot with his putter, that's probably an advantage. But I'm fine with the bunters and the putters as well as I am the bombers this week.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep this pretty simple. This is going to be a putting contest. If you can score in that many different ways, that means it's going to jump down to who can make 10-footers and who misses all their 10-footers.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. But I think we'll have an interesting mix of, because you're going to have some guys that are bunters that we already kind of talked a little pre-show. I have some guys who can really hit it kind of far who I like also this week. So we should have a good mix. The field is a little bit better. I mean, last week's field was so bad. So hopefully that'll help us because I don't know. I just haven't had very much luck in these really terrible field events. I've been getting my 30s wrong, which sucks. But we'll see. We can hopefully get a bounce back this week. Tree line course. So this is a Donald Ross course, right?
Yep, it's a Ross course.
And I think it's like bent and Poa mixed greens.
Kind of your typical PGA Tour Midwest greens.
Yeah, they've been at the fast rating for the past few years. This tournament's only been alive for 3 years, I believe, at the Detroit Country Club. I think this is the 4th year. Yep. So we don't have a ton of information, but we've just seen a lot of these, guys who you'd normally find in the 60s to 50s range, like actually push way down, but they've actually done well here. So, who do you like from the very beginning?
Yeah, so pull up some odds here. There's definitely not anybody that is super. I don't like anybody that's priced real low. No thanks. Can't lay Zalatoris. Nobody under 20 in a week like this. No thank you. If Cam Young was 25, I probably would, but like everybody and their brothers already bet him or is going to Well, one and done him. I mean, he's going to be popular as fuck. So, but I said I think like 4 or 5 weeks ago, like, oh, I can't wait till Cam Young shows up at Rocket Mortgage and I can play him one and done because he can just bomb it. But like, yeah, everybody had the same idea type of thing. So
yeah, so Homa is 14 here, but on Rivers he's listed at 20. I think if I were to go
that's
down
playable.
low, that would be the move for me. Although I don't.
What's Cam Young there?
He's 18.
That's stupid. Max Homa has 4 wins and 3 in the last like 15 months. Cam Young, I know he's good, but like that's stupid as fuck.
Max Homa is number 1 in my model. I think
he's
we've
top second in mine.
We've talked about him enough. We're pretty clear. We understand how good Max Homa is and the spike ability that he has. Unfortunately, I'm going to take the U.S. or the Open, not the U.S., the British Open, and throw it out due to the Tiger and all the other bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Just this guy, I mean, winning the Wells Fargo, I can get all the stuff right there. He just finishes super high, and I feel like this.
Top 20 is like every goddamn week, it seems
right.
Like, so.
If he can get that good putter, I think he's got a chance, just as good a chance as anybody on this board is winning, and he's at 20.
I 20 I actually kind of like. I was getting ready to say like 20 for Homa in this field, that's pretty damn good. I mean, on a course that he should be able to, take advantage of. He hits it pretty far. He's played here twice, so he's got a little experience. 1 top 25. I'm skipping McNeely. No way I'm touching him at 25. Adam Scott, I don't know what he's bringing. I'll start with, and quite honestly, I may bet Keegan at 35. Kisner is for sure I'm going to bet at 35, and I haven't shopped enough to know if what his number is everywhere else. But
who are you looking for?
Kisner.
He's 35 on Rivers.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because you like
almost 22 on FanDuel. I'll be betting that.
Okay, I'm going to add that then before
Kisner's 37.
So you like Bradley and Kisner. They both played well here before. They fit your description. I actually like Cam Davis, who's won this event last year at 35. So we kind of have a little sweet spot in our likings.
He popped 4th in my model. Davis did. I mean, Bradley, look at Keegan's putting. Like, if we can get a Keegan putting week, like,
right.
Come on.
I might join you on that. I might do Keegan also.
I like Kisner. Kisner's a Ross guy. He's played well at Ross courses. He's played really well here. He fits kind of the mold of a bunch of guys who have played well. Now, those guys haven't won necessarily. I mean, Bryson and Cam Davis both end up winning, but there's been a bunch of bunters. Kisner needs a couple good weeks here. He's got an outside chance at I think President's Cup potentially, so he needs some good weeks.
Yeah, so Cam Davis is just a bent guy. Like, it's just kind of what fits him in his style. He gains, or at least is kind of neutral constantly. Top 20 last week, top 10 at John Deere, top 10 at Charles Schwab, which was probably 2.5 months ago, not that long ago. Top 5 at RBC Heritage. These are all bad field events that we kind of have again coming up. He won this event. He can bomb it. He can make birdies. He can putt on the surface. I'm going to go with you in the 35 and join on Cam Davis.
Farther down, I'm good on most of the guys here. If Kirk was at 60, I'd take a stab. He's been putting pretty well. He's played very, very good this summer. But 40 is a bit steep for me.
So the first one that I found is Troy Merritt at 70 on Rivers.
Stallings, if I can find Stallings at 60, I don't mind. He's been randomly popping. Like, he'll miss a couple cuts, but then he'll finish 4th.
Right.
He has had some success here. He hits it far as shit. So he's at 60 on FanDuel. I don't mind that. Your guy Merritt, I don't hate it either. He's kind of been showing some form.
He's a course history guy. Played well here before. And his form isn't crazy good. His approach has been bad, which kind of sucks. But he made the cut last week and he lost 5.6 on the greens. And we've seen him have spike weeks before. So I'm going to try to just hopefully throw that out and just say, hey, if you're going to play like you've been playing, make the cut again and not lose 5 strokes, you're going to have a chance. And he's got good course history. So I do like that.
Cam Champ at 75. He finished 16th last week. he will just randomly show up and win golf tournaments. This definitely seems like one he could just randomly show up and win.
Right.
So don't mind a stab at 75. If we go down here farther, Goddard up at 100. Everybody's going to be off of him now after being on him last week. He actually ended up with a decent week after a shitty start. Your guy Callum Tarrant at 100.
I like him, but I like him for
plays
30.
well.
Yeah.
And Sig had a nice week.
Yeah.
After a kind of a rough start. So I don't know that I want to go like way down the board, but like all three of those guys at 100, I don't have a problem with any of them. They've both all been playing good golf.
Wait,
and
was that Harris English?
130. You could do worse than Harris English at 130.
That's what I'm thinking. Hey, Stu, we forgot to mention Stu Sink played well last week. We didn't actually bet him, which sucked.
Classic Stu Sink.
I know, we were on him.
My guy Gligich came through for me last week. He was in danger of missing the cut and ended up finishing like 16th. He got me a top 30 or 40, whatever it was, 130. So I'll probably be back on him again this week. Not in an outright fashion, though. I think the field's a little bit better. I'm not going to take as many way down the board shots, but I do like all three of those guys I mentioned at 100. I'll probably be betting a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm going to look, but right now all I have is Keegan, Davis, Homa, and Merritt. Those are my 4 bets.
Yeah. For me, it'll be Homa at 22, Kiz, potentially Keegan, and then Stallings. And then I'll probably jump down to Champ and those guys at 100.
Brendan Steele was so high in my model that I almost wanted to bet him, but I don't think I can get myself to do it.
He's 10th in my model. His tee to green stuff is good, but he's 141st in putting. That's really bad.
Yeah, that's just not going to make
his
it.
Ball
work.
striking has been fucking
His
awesome.
ball striking
Holy
has
cow,
been
his putter is
fantastic.
horrible. Jesus Christ. Brendan Steele, top 10 at the PGA. That's pretty good. Wouldn't have known that. Let's jump into some derivatives here.
I got some 30s I really, really like.
20s. Some of the guys we already mentioned. Keegan, Kisner, Cam Davis. Farther down, Stallings. Hubbard's been playing very good. He has some course history here. I'm not sure on a 20. He's a bit dangerous, but that same kind of like range. Chris Kirk's been playing very good. I don't mind him on 20s.
So I like the Kisner. I'm going to jump on that with you. And then into 30s, Patrick Rogers at 175 and Callum Tarrant at 250. Tarrant played good for me last week. Unfortunately, I didn't have the 30 on him. But Patrick Rogers, this is a guy who popped in my model because of his putting. His putting is so damn good. I think he's going to play well here. His approach was in the top 40s. Ball striking was in the top 20 just because of his off the tee game has been pretty good. I think it's going to set up well for him for a birdie fest. This is kind of this thing, the environment in which you could really play Patrick Rogers in a 175 is pretty good for a 30.
Yeah, so here's some 30 numbers. Stallings 190, Sig 190, Tarrant 220.
Tarrant's 250 on Rivers, so bet that if you want that.
I don't know about Kitayama, but he kind of fits the Bombers deal. He's had some really nice finishes this season. He almost won the Scottish. So, you could do worse than him in 30 for sure.
Right.
Gligich 3-1, it'll probably be a 40 for me.
I haven't won a 40 in 2 years, so that won't happen.
But Justin Lauer, he's down here at 6-1. He didn't play good last week, but he's been playing some very, very good golf. I think 3 straight top 25s. He also needs to get moving to get inside the top 125. I think he's pretty close to the cut. Another guy who's 130 is Nick Hardy. He needs a couple of good finishes here to end the season. So that will be interesting to watch as these guys try to position themselves.
Yeah, that'll be definitely something we'll look into the next 2 weeks, especially once we get into Wyndham. Hopefully we'll see what the field looks like, but that'll be interesting. Yeah, look at that line. And we have a little bit of a wrinkle because it sounds like those live guys are getting thrown out of the equation. So some guys, we're going to have a little bit more breathing room with some guys.
Yeah, five or six people there. So
right on the line.
Some interesting matchup options.
So I got one I
Ricky
really
Fowler
like.
over Jason Day. Ricky played okay last week, right? I think he played decent.
He started off okay. I don't know how he finished. I had it outright on him, but he never really even sniffed it. Merritt minus 103 over Johnny Vegas. I know Johnny Vegas is a
I like
ball
that.
striker, but
I'm a Johnny Vegas fade guy.
Yeah, Merritt's course history is really good. Johnny Vegas was way the hell down in my model, and his putting last 24 rounds was 131st. This is not the week. Yeah, so this is a week I think we can do it. And I like Troy Merritt, so I think it just worked out perfect. Barely any juice at all, minus 103. That's the one I really like.
Stallings over Gary. I mean, that's dangerous because Stallings is so feast or famine, but Gary's just kind of been blah.
Yeah.
He's been okay, but he hasn't been great, that type of thing.
How do you feel about Cantlay? Should we be betting against him or no? Because you can get Zalatoris at plus 120.
I'm like, I don't know what to do with Zalatoris this week. I'm worried that this is not his type of event. Is he the type of guy that's gonna go putt good enough to make 20 birdies? I don't think so. He seems to do better when par is a good score, not when birdie is a good score.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because we think that now, but we have all these times where we think
he
that
could just stuff it. I mean, he could just stuff it every hole for 4 days.
And you think of all these young guys, and they eventually get wins. It's not always events like this, but it's times when there's he broke through and he got his win. Right, he made a bunch of birdies and his putting spiked. Like that could happen. So it's kind of hard to tell. When a guy has that much talent, you almost want to if you believe in him, you got to kind of do it. So it's just kind of what you think on what kind of event he can win.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to bet him against Cantlay though.
Okay.
This is the exact type of event that Cantlay will show up and shoot 20 under and just win because it doesn't matter. Cantlay hasn't really done a whole lot in he hasn't really contended in any majors or any big events, but he'll fucking win a birdie fest all day. That dude doesn't give a shit. He'll make 20 birdies in 3 days all of a sudden.
He needs his putting to show up. They'll be fine. There weren't any other matchups I super loved. I think I'm going to stay away from the Tony Finau post-win fade. He seems like a guy who would play well again.
Same.
And then other than that, I kind of liked Webb over Mark Hubbard plus 100. I
don't mind it. Webb's his form, he has 3 miscuts his last 4 starts, but he also has the top 15 and 2 top 25s before that. Mark Hubbard is objectively worse at golf than him.
Way worse.
Way worse, but Hubbard's been playing significantly better. Where is he at in my list here?
His putting has been really good too. That's the
Hubbard,
only thing that scares me.
5 straight made cuts. Well, 7 straight made cuts with 3 straight top 13 finishes, including back-to-back top 5s. He has a 12th at this tournament. He played final group with Bryson that year.
So maybe that's why we stay.
Yeah, that's probably good enough for me to stay away.
You know who I think Thigala could play well this week, and he won't be as popular because of him letting people down last week, but he's a type of guy who can definitely that shit doesn't really matter to him. He'll just pop the next week if he plays well. I think we should be wary of that. He has a matchup here versus Siwoo Kim. He's a little bit favored, but minus 115 versus Siwoo Kim isn't too bad. I'm going to check his river.
No, that's not bad. Let's see Woo been up to. He did well. He played well at the Open.
Yeah, his putting has been bad. His proximity from long ranges is bad. His driving distance is bad. Approach is in the 70s, so that's not great either.
Siwoo has, before his good finish at the Open, he had missed 3 straight cuts. And he has 3 starts here, 58th, 57th, and missed cut.
Perfect. I'm adding it to the list. Minus 115, Thigala over Siwoo.
Don't mind that. I'm going to stick with 1 and 2 on margins.
So we forgot to mention the absolute choke
Choke
fest
job by Scott Piercy.
that Scott Piercy had on Sunday.
He was at 18 under through like 13 holes, 12
Yeah, it
holes.
would have been through like 12, yeah. But
Yeah, through like 12, which would have won the fucking tournament. And then proceeded to go bogey, triple bogey. I think he went birdie, bogey his last 2 holes too. So he played so bad.
well, it was terrible. I was watching and I almost had thought like my best chance is Finau gets second, forget my money, and Finau somehow run up and get to the 2-stroke margin,
Right.
and I'll have a chance. And all of a sudden, he just starts pooping down his pants
Yeah.
and giving Finau chances. And then Finau tries to throw it away himself at the end. He hits it into the
Yeah.
water on 18.
Yeah, he hits it
Luckily,
off the tee into the water like an idiot.
luckily that the other guy had, or what's his name, Piercy had just absolutely choked way down, so it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And then Grillo comes in for the birdie and misses it, so the margin got all screwed. But I still like it. That should have hit 1-stroke and 2-stroke. It'll be me on it. I'll be on that this week.
The dog's back here squeaking her fucking dog. One and done.
Okay.
This is we kind of mentioned it off the top. I have Zalatoris, Cam Young of the top like 5 or 6 guys. Other than that, it's like the Keegans, the Hadwins, the Kirks, Kisners.
So I have Cam Young, Homa, and Cameron Davis. Those are my 3 options. I don't have Zalatoris, unfortunately, although I still don't know if I would play him. Cam Young has a lot of availability in the league, but also we both think he could be a really good play here. It's between him and Homa for me. I think currently leaning towards Homa because I think less people will choose him.
Yep.
But I could be talked into Cameron Young.
Same. I have Zalatoris selected right now, but I don't feel great about it. Only in the sense that like I just don't know that this is the tournament that he's going to do it. Yeah, I'm sure he'll play fine, but like I don't know that he putts good enough to like really contend here. I honestly think Cam Young has a higher chance of winning, but he also has a higher chance of like kind of flopping. I don't know how to feel about it. It's between those two. Otherwise, nobody else is really worth using for me. I don't even see Cam Davis on my list here.
He's not on the odds list for some reason. He doesn't have odds next to his name, so you have to like go.
I see him down there.
But I'd be interested to see like how Cameron Young starts to play like post a major second. Because he kind of probably he obviously kind of has it in his head like he's got a win coming. Or him and Zalatoris like probably should be pretty soon. Zalatoris has way more major finishes than he does. He only has the one. But
no, he finished 3rd at PGA. He should have won PGA. Yeah.
Cam Young did? Oh, well, there you go, 2.
Remember, he made that. I had him outright. He made that double on 16.
Oh, yeah,
in
the sand. Yeah.
Yeah, he went 3rd. He went 3rd at RBC, 2nd at Wells Fargo, 3rd at PGA. 3 straight top 3s. And then took a couple weeks off, came back to Memorial. Remember, he was winning and shot like 85 on Sunday. Mm-hmm. He had a chance at like 4 straight top 5s. And then miscut at US Open, miscut at Genesis, Scottish, but then 2nd at the Open. So it's like, I don't really know what to do with him. Is he the guy who finishes 3rd every week, or is he going to do this kind of up-down thing? This course fits him so well. That's the problem. Like, he can just nuke fucking balls all over this bitch, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I might have to switch over to him because what if Homa has been supposed to be on vacation, so I don't know how ready he is. So I don't know what to think. I'm just making up shit now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so tough. I mean, one of those 3 will probably play awesome, and it's maybe multiple. I mean, hopefully, because I'm probably going to take Cam Young. I've been saying it for multiple weeks. If I didn't take him after, kind of prophesizing it a few weeks ago, and then he fucking won, I'd be really pissed. So I know he's going to be high owned, but I like his profile for this tournament better than I like Zalatoris. Zalatoris, I like him better as a player, but Cam Young fits this course a bit better, I think.
Yeah.
Last F1 race this week before summer break.
Yeah, so looking at the odds, Verstappen 150, Leclerc 130. So if you're
Just
interested,
keep betting fucking Verstappen. Just keep doing it. Leclerc, he can't get out. They can't get out of their own way. It's either his team fucks him or he just does dumb shit and he loses again. And Verstappen is just gonna. He doesn't fuck up. He doesn't make mistakes. And even still, he might have won. You know, he still very well could have won that race, even if Leclerc was in it. So I don't know. I won plus money on Verstappen at any race at this point. It seems like pretty good bet, but
yeah, Mercedes is getting lucky again because the Ferraris,
they are better though. They're way closer.
Right, but I was going to say that we now that the cars are getting better, Lewis has kind of started to show like, hey, I'm still the guy here. So
my car doesn't suck ass. Here it is.
Right, because he's been out qualifying him, he's been out finishing him.
4 straight podiums for Lewis.
So I think if you're interested in a Lewis win, I'd be interested. I'm thinking about betting it at 12 in the next few races, or maybe we get back from break when they'll do some research and adjusting over the break.
Yeah. Verstappen and Leclerc to both finish in the top 6 minus 300. Would you lay 3 to?
No,
problem is Leclerc wrecking himself out.
Yeah, Leclerc he'll hit the fucking wall or the car will stop working. Like what? I wonder how many races they've finished on the podium together. Can't be that many.
Who?
Leclerc and Verstappen.
I think it's like a third of them. Like it should be every single one, but I think it's literally like
right. It's not. I think they did.
Verstappen has wrecked out of Verstappen has wrecked out of 2 or 3 and finished like 7th one week or 6th, whatever it was. And Leclerc he's retired 3 times from first. So
yeah, it's quite interesting. They just keep screwing themselves. I'm
Lewis is plus 110 for a podium finish.
What's a Verstappen win plus a podium Lewis?
Probably not parlayable, would be my guess.
No, that's bullshit.
It would be very good odds.
I kind of like the Lewis win at 12, but I'm going to stick with Verstappen at 150 because that's just
150 is a very good number.
Yeah.
Can I parlay Leclerc to qualify first and Verstappen to win like that? I should be able to parlay because that happens like every fucking week.
Well, they have pre-made parlay. I want that.
That's what I was looking at. Is the pre-made ones. Oh, some interesting ones way down at the bottom, but
these are crazy.
Verstappen to win and Perez fastest lap.
Is what?
22-1. Verstappen's out in front but can't pit to get the fastest lap. Perez is running like third, can pit because there's got a big gap.
It's pretty crazy. These are nuts. I've never looked through these.
I don't know that I've seen them on there much.
Russell to win, Verstappen fastest lap. Why couldn't that happen if he wrecks? That's 55-1. That's kind of crazy.
The fastest lap is usually like right at the end, or when somebody gets like a big pit window.
Russell to win and Hamilton the podium. The issue is just Verstappen's going to win, or Leclerc's going to actually finish the race and he'll get first or second. So then all this stuff gets screwed.
There's a lot of Sainz to win Leclerc podium.
I wonder how many times they've both finished on the podium with the Sainz above him. Probably like once, not even.
Yeah, I don't even know if they've done it once.
Yeah, these are interesting.
Verstappen to win and Russell podium. 550.
Oh, I like that. I do like
Verstappen
that.
Verstappen to win Leclerc fastest lap 5-1.
5-1.
That's a realistic outcome.
Yeah, because he could maybe give up and just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that. I would maybe pair some of those with like Verstappen just to win outright. Like don't pair them, but like add it also just to kind of have some fun. And then use the Verstappen 150 to kind of hold you over.
Verstappen to win and a Perez podium plus 450. Red Bull just has a good weekend, basically.
Yeah, I assume that. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to go back and look to see how often this happens. It probably never happens. It's interesting.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. We'll have our cards out. I'll probably be relatively light again this week. I just keep building a little bit towards the playoffs here. Wyndham Field should be pretty good. I don't think it's gonna be like awesome. Most of the big guys are still gonna sit out till FedEx, but it's a fun tournament, and we'll look forward to that next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Cameo.
Same. Let's go for it. 3 in a row for you. Get me back in the mix unless everybody picks them. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.